There comes a moment in life when you pause, even for a second, and ask, why am I here? Not in the physical sense, not just as a body moving through time, but in the deeper sense. Why does your life exist at all? And if you have never asked this question, then perhaps life has been pulling you in its currents like a leaf in the wind, drifting without direction. A life without meaning is not really a life, it is mere existence. It is waking up each day, doing what is expected, filling time, consuming, achieving things that feel hollow, and at the end of the day feeling no different than when it began. And if this continues day after day, year after year, then one day you will look back and realize you were alive, but you never truly lived. There is a story of a man who had everything: wealth, success, admiration. But one day he stood in front of his mirror and saw emptiness in his own eyes. No spark, no fire, just a man playing a role in a life he had never truly chosen. He had been chasing goals that others told him mattered. And now, standing there, he saw the truth. He had climbed a ladder, but it was leaning against the wrong wall. He had spent years running, only to realize he was running in circles. Meaning is not found in what you have. It is not found in status, not in applause, not in the illusion of success. It is found in presence, in being fully awake to this moment, right here, right now. When you are truly present, you realize life is not something happening to you, it is something happening through you. You are not separate from it, you are life itself. And in that realization, meaning arises. It is not something you seek, it is something you allow. A mother holding her child for the first time does not ask, what is the meaning of this moment? She feels it. A man standing at the edge of a vast ocean does not need words to describe why he is moved. He simply is. Meaning is not an intellectual pursuit. It is a deep knowing that your presence itself is enough. When you stop living unconsciously, when you wake up from the endless chase of distractions, from the need to impress, from the fear of not being enough, meaning emerges naturally. It is in the way you give yourself fully to what you do, the way you touch the lives of others, the way you stop waiting for some distant future to give you permission to be alive. Do not wait for life to give you meaning. Bring meaning to life now, in this moment, in the way you see, the way you breathe, the way you simply are. Because this moment, this breath, this heartbeat, this now is all there ever is. And when you truly understand that, your life will never be empty again. Most people exist rather than live. They wake up, follow routines, do what is expected, and move through their days without ever questioning whether their life has any real depth or significance. They confuse movement with progress, busyness with purpose. But deep inside there is a void, one that no amount of success, money, or distractions can truly fill. A person can achieve everything the world tells them to: education, a stable career, financial security, yet still feel a lingering sense of emptiness. Because meaning is not found in external accomplishments, it is an internal experience, When life lacks meaning, everything becomes mechanical. Each day feels the same as the last, a repetition of tasks rather than a journey of fulfillment. The tragedy is not that life is short, the tragedy is that many people never truly live. They are physically present but emotionally absent, mentally consumed by worries and distractions. They suppress the quiet voice within them, the one asking, "Is this all there is?" A life without meaning is not a life. A person can achieve everything they once dreamed of, wealth, recognition, and success, yet feel an unshakable emptiness inside. The world applauds them, yet in the silence of their own mind, they sense something is missing. They climb the mountain society told them to climb, only to reach the top and realize the view is not what they expected. Success without meaning feels like an illusion, like chasing a horizon that never arrives. The tragedy is not that life is short, the tragedy is that many people never truly live. They are physically present, but emotionally absent, mentally consumed by worries and distractions. They suppress the quiet voice within them, the one asking, "Is this all there is?" A life without meaning is not a life. A person can achieve everything they once dreamed of, wealth, recognition, and success, yet feel an unshakable emptiness inside. The world applauds them, yet in the silence of their own mind, they sense something is missing. They climb the mountain society told them to climb, only to reach the top and realize the view is not what they expected. Success without meaning feels like an illusion, like chasing a horizon that never arrives. There are countless stories of people who seemed to have it all but still felt lost. Celebrities, CEOs, and high achievers who reached the pinnacle of success only to fall into depression or feel an aching void inside. They had the admiration of millions, yet when they were alone, they struggled with the question, why does none of this make me feel complete? Because true fulfillment does not come from achievement alone. External success can decorate your life, but it cannot give it depth. When meaning is absent, success is reduced to a series of goals that offer temporary satisfaction but no lasting fulfillment. The moment one milestone is reached, another is needed to fill the void. Without something deeper driving us, achievement becomes an endless chase, a race with no finish line. People spend their lives searching for meaning as if it were some distant treasure waiting to be discovered. They chase goals, accumulate achievements, and seek validation, believing that meaning is something they will one day find after they reach a certain status, acquire enough wealth, or gain the approval of others. But meaning is not hidden in the future. It is not something external that must be pursued. It is something that arises naturally when we stop searching and start being. A person can have everything they once wished for and still feel lost because they have been looking in the wrong place. Meaning is not a destination, it is a state of presence. When we are fully engaged in the moment, when we lose ourselves in a conversation, in creating, in helping another human being, we do not ask, what is the meaning of this? We simply feel it. The mind stops searching, and we experience life in its purest form. The greatest mistake is believing that meaning is something we lack and must acquire. But meaning is already here, waiting to be realized. The more we chase it, the further it seems. The moment we stop seeking and fully embrace the present, meaning is no longer a question, it is a reality. Most people live as if life is something happening to them, as if they are separate from it, caught in a stream they cannot control. They feel like passengers, moving through time without truly engaging with the present moment. They dwell in the past, replaying regrets, or they live in the future, anticipating what's next, believing that fulfillment is always just beyond their reach. But meaning is never found in the past or the future. It exists only in the now. When you are fully present, life is no longer something outside of you, it moves through you. The trees sway, the wind brushes your skin, a stranger smiles at you, and suddenly you feel something deeper. In that moment, you are not thinking about life, you are experiencing it. The noise in your mind quiets, and you realize that everything you have been searching for has always been here. People seek meaning in accomplishments, in recognition, in external things. But meaning is not something to be achieved. It is a state of awareness. The moment you wake up to the present, life is no longer a series of tasks to complete, but a profound, unfolding experience that is happening through you. There are moments in life that do not require explanation, moments so profound that they silence the mind and awaken something deeper within. A mother holding her newborn child doesn't need to ask, what is the meaning of this moment? She simply knows. A person standing at the edge of the ocean, watching the waves crash endlessly against the shore, does not need words to understand why they feel something stirring inside. Meaning is not something we define, it is something we feel when we are truly present. Life constantly offers these moments, yet many people overlook them because they are too distracted, too busy, too caught up in their own thoughts. They seek meaning in grand achievements, in future success, but fail to see it in the simple, powerful moments unfolding right now. A deep conversation, an act of kindness, the warmth of the sun on your face. These are not just fleeting experiences. They are glimpses into something greater, reminders that life itself is enough. When we stop searching and start paying attention, we realize that meaning is not found in distant goals, but in the depth of each moment. The more present we become, the more alive life feels. Modern life is filled with noise, constant distractions, endless tasks, and a world that demands our attention at every moment. People move from one thing to the next, scrolling through screens, chasing deadlines, filling every empty space with activity. Yet beneath all of this movement there is a quiet emptiness, a sense that something is missing. The more they chase, the more disconnected they feel. The more they try to fill the void, the deeper it seems to grow. The truth is, meaning does not come from doing more, it comes from being fully present. But most people have become so accustomed to distraction that they no longer know how to be still, how to sit with themselves without reaching for something to fill the silence. They are afraid of what they might find if they stop running, but in that stillness, meaning begins to reveal itself. It does not come from the endless noise of the world, but from the quiet recognition of what has always been there. Breaking free from distractions is not about withdrawing from life. It is about stepping into it fully. When the mind is no longer pulled in 100 directions, life becomes clearer, richer, more alive. Meaning is not something that must be added to life. It is something that is uncovered when everything unnecessary falls away. Many people believe that meaning comes from what they achieve, what they own, or how the world perceives them. They measure their worth by external standards, titles, possessions, social status, believing that the more they accumulate, the more valuable their life becomes. But no matter how much they acquire, a quiet emptiness remains, a lingering sense that something is still missing. That is because meaning is not found in what you have, it is found in how you live. A simple act of kindness, a moment of deep connection, the way you fully engage with the present, these are what make a life meaningful. A person who pours their heart into their work, not for recognition, but for the love of creating, finds more fulfillment than someone who works only for success. A person who gives without expecting anything in return experiences more richness than someone who only takes. Meaning is not something distant or complicated. It is woven into the way you show up for life, into the energy you bring to each moment. A meaningful life is not measured by the things you collect, but by the impact you leave, the love you give, and the presence with which you live each day. People spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the right circumstances, waiting until they feel ready. They tell themselves that one day, when they have more time, when they have achieved more, when everything is in place, then they will truly start living. But life does not wait. It moves forward with or without you, and the more you delay, the more you risk looking back one day and realizing you never truly lived at all. Meaning is not something you find in the future, it is something you bring to the present. It is not a distant destination, but a way of engaging with life right now. There is no perfect moment coming. This moment is the only one that exists. Every second spent waiting is a second lost forever. Every day lived passively is a day that will never return.